Hey guys, this is my review of the Fallkniven U2. You might, excuse me, it might be pronounced differently than Fallkniven. That's just how I pronounce it. But anyway, this knife is absolutely amazing. I was completely impressed with this. This is a model that I've actually wanted for a long time. But for the $60 price tag, you see there, $59.97. I always thought it was just kind of plain, and I figured for that money I can get a bunch of other stuff. And every time I wanted to order this, I ended up getting something else. But I finally did it in my recent purchase. I picked one up, and I couldn't be happier. Very simple design, very simple lockback, Zytel handles, and the blade is a very simple design. But the steel is what's so amazing in this knife. This knife uses what's called super gold powdered steel. It's extremely difficult to work with. It's very expensive. Also, you need very expensive technology to produce these blades. Very few companies use this. And from the only information I've ever read on it, it's a laminated powdered steel. But from, like I said, everything that I've read on it, this has the longest edge retention on anything available to knives in the market today. In other words, if you took every single steel that's ever used in knives, ever, this would hold an edge the longest. Literally the longest. Now, when I got this knife, they came with a nice little warning on the box. It says on the bottom here, it says, how to sharpen your powdered steel blade. It says, start with a superfine flat diamond stone, finish with a ceramic flat honing stone, no oil, no water needed. Watch out for the extremely sharp edge. And I thought, alright, yeah, this is probably going to be sharp. I have to say, this, and I'm not kidding here, this is the sharpest knife I've ever had, or owned, or used in my entire life. And I've used a lot of knives. I've used a lot of high quality knives. I've used a lot of, just really, really good, sharpened, cheaper knives. This is amazing. Alright, I got just a regular piece of paper here. Doesn't look that impressive, right? But I'm telling you, this thing is so sharp. It's really amazing to me. I don't know if you saw that little hair piece I shaved there. This thing it's something else. I mean, and it's going to hold that edge for a long, long time. Each pass I'm doing right now, it's cutting. It's cutting thin little pieces. I mean, let me try to get a curl on what I consider scary sharp knives. I get what's called a curl, and there's probably other people call it different names, but if you put the blade almost flat on top of the paper here, whatever you're cutting, and you kind of just run it across, if you can cut an extremely thin sliver, it will actually curl up. It will automatically just start curling. Let me see if I can get that here for you. I got a nice tiny one here, but I don't know if you're even going to see that. The camera won't even make it out. It's so thin. Let me try to get something a little thicker. It's actually going to curl up on us. See, I can't, in order to get it to curl, it's got to be super thin, and the camera won't even pick it up like that. It's amazing. It's just phenomenal how sharp this knife is. And like I said, from what I read, this will literally hold an edge as long as anything else and longer. Truly, truly amazing. Make confetti out of anything. I actually should have grabbed some newsprint. You know what? Hold on one second. Bear with me here. I have somewhere here. All right. Sorry about that. I wasn't gonna grab this, but I have these cheapo smoking papers, rolling papers. Not because I smoke or anything, but I actually bought this a while ago to perform cutting tests. Now, a cigarette paper is extremely, extremely thin. If your knife can cleanly cut through this stuff, I mean, it's thinner than newsprint. You're doing pretty good. You got a pretty sharp blade there. Now, I swear to God, I've not tried this yet, but it's exactly what I thought. Perfectly clean cut through some cigarette paper. Nice and clean all the way through. Again, another piece here. See if I can get a thin slice. See that? So that is darn sharp. Pretty sharp. So amazing. I was really impressed with this knife. Really. Just awesome. Because it's such a simple design, I mean, I love it. It's awesome. I really wish it had a pocket clip, but it's just not part of the design. This would just, sit in your pocket like a normal little folder. I'm just wiping the paper dust and fingerprints off the blade here. But really amazing. Highly impressed by this. I can't tell you enough how amazing this knife is to me. Like I said, very simplistic design. It's a light knife, as you saw, extremely sharp. Very sturdy lockback. Very comfortable, smooth Zytel handle scales. It uses one. The pivot screw is one larger size Torx. It takes a Torx driver for that. But very impressive. So if you have $60 to spend and you're looking on something, looking for something kind of small and classy and traditional, definitely gotta check this one out, folks. This impressed me. And like I said, I deal with a lot of different knives and I like a lot of different stuff, but this one really was awesome. So that's the Fallkniven, or however you pronounce that. U2 is the model. Just the letter U, the number 2. Awesome. Once again, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.